What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and as I'm sure most of you are aware, MEOWCOIN is moving to a more efficient algorithm away from Kapow. So I do happen to have an RTX 3070, which is the most common GPU most miners have today. So I'm just going to see how much better and more efficient it really is over the current Kapow algorithm. Okay, so before we look at my testing results, I actually want to show you guys how you can connect to the testnet yourself and then test your GPU so you're ready for whenever it happens. And you can also kind of see how well it does compare on the hardware you have at home. So the first thing you are going to have to do is download the latest wallet. It will only work if you are on the newest wallet. And eventually, once testnet goes to mainnet, I do believe this wallet will become the new wallet unless they come up with another recent update. Regardless, you're going to need the current latest wallet that they have available on GitHub. All the links and everything will be in the description. Once you get that downloaded, extracted, and fired up, you're going to have to put your wallet into testnet mode by using this command in the wallet config. I'll show you where that is in a minute. And then obviously to mine, you're going to have to use the latest miner because it's the only one that does support this coin. Once it's on mainnet, or maybe even towards the tail end of the testnet here, we might see a major dev pick this up from LOL Miner or BZ or someone in the short term here. But moving forward, in order to get your wallet to sync, you're going to have to add these 3 specific nodes into your wallet as well. So let's just kind of show you exactly what that looks like in your config. So bring up your wallet like so. You can see I got some coins here from when I was doing my testing. You're going to go up into your actual file here. Actually, I lied. You're going to go into your wallet here and go to options. Click on options and open configuration file. So click that. Hit OK, and here you can see what it should look like. So testnet equals 1. Now this is the command. Like I was going through here, I was like, how come it's not working? And going through, previous Raptorium, all the core wallets, the commands kind of work the same. You are going to have that equal sign and everything in there. So this is exactly how it should look. I'll just copy this and I'll paste this right into the description below, so you can just copy and paste it straight over into your own wallet config, and then everything will be up and working for you. So again, just to confirm exactly where you go, you click on wallet here, you go to options and then open configuration file, and then just copy everything in the description down there, paste it in here, save it, and it'll all be set to go. So make sure you do create a new wallet address, obviously, by going to receive, type in any type of name here, hit request payment. It'll give you a new address here to mine to. In this case, this is mine, and it's that simple to get up and running. So I'm also going to show you how to do this in HiveOS as well. Windows is pretty straight explanatory. You should be able to figure that out, but you can also test rigs in HiveOS now. Here is a quick example of my flight sheet. So you are going to have to use a custom miner here because obviously this is all brand new. HiveOS has not updated for this specific miner. So you are going to have to use a custom miner, and in your config, you will have to paste this URL right here, which will then auto fill in the miner name. This will be down in the description as well. Make sure you choose Kapow as your hashing algorithm, even though it's going to be named something else later on. For now, use Kapow as your algorithm, and then put in your wallet here, regardless test. I don't think this really matters at this point because this is coming into your pool parameters as well. So I was doing this on CoinMiner, so you're going to need your stratum+tcp. I'll copy and paste this straight down there as well, and hopefully YouTube will let me paste that. But you'll see you have your wallet address right after your 2 forward slashes here, followed by your rig name. In this case, it's test. And then you're going to use the @ symbol there and your stratum.coinminers.com colon there 13323 for your port. So again, I will have all of this stuff just pasted in the description, so it should be a fast, easy copy and paste for you guys. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's kind of see what MEOWCOIN is saying about this algorithm. So MEOW results are coming in for the MEPOW version 2.07 testnet. An average of 40% plus less power is used with a max showing of 81%. So this is in theory 40 to 81% more efficient. So, I'm hyped up as I read this. I'm expecting quite a bit lower power draw coming when you test this out. So let's jump into my RTX 3070 results, or 3070, not 37, because that's not a thing. The RTX 3070 Founders Edition, and see how it looked. All right, guys, so here we are looking at my RTX 3070 results. And that's why I encourage you guys to do some testing on your own GPUs as well, because personally, I'm not really noticing a more efficiency of a boost. When I read that out and I thought there'd be, it'd be less power, that means that would encourage more miners to come on, because now you're not using up as much power at the wall, as well as you're not really, causing so much heat and stuff with summer around the corner. But as you can see here, before I even mention any results, I'm using pretty much the same amount of power as I did on Kapow. I'm not seeing any major changes here. So here's my basic overclocks. Now I didn't do anything like, locking the core. You should do in increments of 15, example like 1475 and 1425 and stuff like that in terms of locking the core. So what I did is I locked the core at 500, 600, 850, 1000, 1200, and 1400 in all my tests with different memory settings, because this is supposed to be more memory dependent, kind of like how Ethereum was relying more on that memory. So I did all those settings at 2400 memory, at 1600 memory, and 1000 memory, just so we can get a kind of idea how the core and memory does affect your overclock settings. And obviously you can use this as just a little baseline and then do a lot better tweaking in between it, like say 550 at maybe 1400 memory or vice versa. I'm not saying use that. I'm just saying this is kind of how you can look at things by looking at the hash rate and stuff. All right, so starting off with the 2400 memory test, and just like every other test, I did find that going from 500 to 600 was the biggest boost in every single test. As we can see in red, the 500 clock with 2400 memory was only 22.63 mega hash. This was 125 watts at the wall, and in the mining software, it was 113 watts. So we can see the little difference here between the wall and the power that's showing in the software for a mega hash to watt ratio of 0.181. And then we can see we went from 22.6 to 28.3, just raising the core clock that extra 100, which does see the biggest boost, because obviously 500 core here is probably way too low, because we saw that and it's the least efficient there. But moving into the best efficient one was 850 core, 2400 memory, 146 watts at the wall, 133 watts was in the mining software for 29.43 mega hash. That was 0.201 mega hash per watt ratio. Now moving into 1600 memory, which is bringing it down a little bit. The same thing was the 600 core here was the most efficient setting at 134 watts at the wall, 122 watts in the miner software there was 27.11 mega hash, but 0.202 of a mega hash to watt ratio. Still very, very close to that, but slightly bit more efficient. So we did lose a bit of hash rate, as we can see, dropping that memory a little bit. Now moving on to only 1000 memory. Again, here we have, actually 850 was here. Here we have the 600 locked core clock at 1000 was 134 watts at the wall, 122 in the mining software, 27.02 mega hash with a 0.201 mega hash to watt ratio, which is pretty much the same efficiency as what I got for the best one in the higher memory. But we are quite a bit lower, only by about 2 mega hash actually in power here. So I took these exact same settings. I took all the green ones here and used those settings on Kapow. And for the miner, I did use T-Rex miner when I did the Kapow tests here, and we can see that 850 core, 146 watts to 138. We are using actually a little bit more power on the nuke chain here than we were in Kapow. Kapow is actually using a little bit less power, and coming in for the 600 to 1600 here, which is 134 watts at the wall, I was actually using 121 watts. So again, we're using less power on Kapow. And then Kapow, the 600 to 1000, 121 watts at the wall, we were using 134 watts on the new algorithm. So what I am seeing here is we're actually not losing any power at the wall. So you're still going to be using a lot of power mining this new algorithm, at least on the RTX 3070. Now we are seeing increase in hash rate here, 24 to 29, 18.11 to 27, 18.21 to 27 again. So it's almost like all they did is, well, they didn't do it, but I'm just saying all it looks like is an LHR unlock. Remember what happened when Ethereum had the 10% LHR unlock to fully unlock the GPU? So everyone's seen an extra 10% in hash rate. The entire network went up 10% in difficulty and everything. So that results in actually a little bit less of reward. So if all the same miners were still mining the coin, and it's probably going to be the same. I don't see any incentive for other miners at a little higher power cost to actually mine this, because I thought it would be a little less power, but it's not looking like it is using any less power at the wall. So it's going to come down to the price of the coin and how many miners continue to keep mining it at the time of whenever you plan to do this. But again, guys, this is on my test on the RTX 3070. It does sound like the 4000 series is seeing better improvements. I have a 4090, but it's in my workstation, so I can't test the power unless I rip my workstation apart and then put it in my test bench and do all sorts of crazy stuff. Maybe I'll do that if that's something you guys really want to see. But I have another spreadsheet here. And this is some numbers that it looks like a few people have been putting together here that you guys can kind of calculate and do things. But there is a 4090 here. It does say 270 watts on MEOWCOIN, where Kapow is 360 for 63 mega hash and 71. So again, that increased hash rate, but we're seeing a actual decent drop in power here at the wall. So I don't know if it's actually at the wall or if it's within the mining software. Judging by the 3070 here at 127, I'm guessing that's miner software, not really wall powers that's going into here, which we showing that you are using more power at the wall than what the miner software is actually telling you. I've always said an AMD is even worse. Never use software power to dictate how much power you're using, because you are using more watts at the wall if you measure that way. So make sure you're always checking stuff at the wall. Regardless, this is my results. I'm not saying it's 100% accurate. This is just what I found out. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.